have an agriculturist, an expert means to a young farmer, do I see it? Who is going to discuss the topic coffee, the production of coffee, and the importance of identifying the right seeds for the production or propagation of coffee. I know you want to know more about it. I urge you to stay back. We'll be right back when the program continues. Hilda Hussein Platter is my name, and it improves seeds on the ASEAN television. See you right. Alright, welcome back to the program It Proceeds on your first agricultural television in Nigeria. And I told you that today I have an expert who studied crop and environmental protection. This is one of the new courses that I'm just getting to know.
Oh,
What's so interesting. Well, welcome to the program, Mr. Bakari Abiodun.
thank you,
How you
Mrs.
doing?
Said. I'm doing good. I'm
You're
doing fine.
pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright,
good.
so we said we're going to talk about coffee, the cultivation of coffee, the identification of the right seeds for coffee. So, what is coffee itself?
Yeah, thank you. Coffee. Coffee is a plant in agriculture. It's been grown for the purpose of the major reason why it's grown. It's for making beverage.
Okay.
So coffee, a lot of commercial farmers grow it in order just for them to make money. So and it's very lucrative, but it's also it is also labor intensive.
Okay.
Yeah. So coffee as a plant, it's grown just for the seed.
Okay.
Yeah, for tea. So both we make use of the seed for two things.
Okay.
One, for beverage. Second, for replanting.
For planting.
Yes.
Okay, so the same coffee can be used for beverage and for planting.
Yes.
Now, tell me, what is the difference between coffee and tea?
Yeah, they are very much quite similar
Okay.
because they are both beverage.
Yeah.
Yes. Tea, we drink it. It has health benefits,
Yeah.
as the same coffee has health benefits of its own. And at the same time, there are differences. Yeah, the difference between them: coffee produces seed, which we use in making beverage, but tea doesn't. We don't make use of the seed. It doesn't really have seed, but little of them produce seed. The seeds can be used to replant. Yeah, we shouldn't go there right now. So the major difference between them is one produces seed, one doesn't produce seed.
Okay.
The one that produces seed, we make use of the seed for beverage and for replanting. But tea doesn't produce seed, so we make use of the leaf as beverage
Okay.
with different type of care. It go through processes, the both. So that's just the major.
Wow. So the leaves for tea and
Yeah.
for tea, then the little of it goes in for replanting,
Exactly.
unlike coffee.
Unlike coffee.
Now,
Exactly.
for a farmer,
Yeah.
how does he identify a right seed, a right coffee seed for the farming?
Yeah.
If she wants to, or she wants to go into cultivation of
Thank you, Ma. See, this area, a lot of farmers have kind of like issue and problems in identifying the good seed. Yeah, let me come in here. While identifying a good seed, you get a coffee seed somewhere you're given. Talking of the appearance, you have to be very, 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 very careful because there are some. You make sure you check for which any of the seed that has. There are some that say has its pulp on it. You have to remove it. Some it might have been bored by insects. Those might not be viable, and there are some seeds that they might be viable, but it has to go through some processes by steaming it, putting it inside hot water for some time, just for the layer to get open. So you dry it back, then you plant it. So you have to look out for disease-resistant variety of seed. So while going there, this is where we make use of our institution. CRANE, Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria, is majorly the only institute we have in Nigeria that works on. It works on cocoa, it works on cashew, cola, coffee, and tea. So from there, you can easily get a very certified seed, coffee seed.
Now, can we have the stages from the soil now to the? You talked about identifying the right seed.
Yes.
A clean seed, you see, and the process at which you put warm water for the layer to open. Now, can you highlight the stages that we must look out for in coffee farming? That is from the field to the soil to the weather, the fertilizer application, and stuff like that, so that farmers will actually get the right steps.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, we're talking about cultivation of coffee. Cultivation of coffee has different stages. The first stages to consider are one, knowing where your farm is placed, knowing the climate and the soil. Coffee, I told you we have coffee Arabica, coffee Robusta, and two other ones. But the two major coffee that is being produced worldwide is coffee Arabica and coffee Robusta. Robusta. Why coffee Arabica is the number one, majorly produced. Second is Robusta. So, and the two are different varieties. And also, Arabica and Robusta has different varieties again. So, the both, depending on your climate, your soil, those are the things to watch out. So, then we go on to the land preparation. So, coffee requires a elevated place where it can easily the climate should be suitable for it to grow. It doesn't really require much sun, so at least it requires moist weather, not too much heavily sun, and also it requires a lot of rain. At least annually you should have at least 2,200 millimeters to 2,300 millimeters of rain that should be provided. So, and at the same time, coffee does not like too much rain, too much water. So it easily invites what's it called, diseases, pests, infestation. So both have to be controlled. So there, the soil and the soil pH, it's in between 4.5 to 6.5. So
that's the pH.
That's the pH. Those are the things you have to look into first. Your farm, how elevated is it? Even if it is going to be, even if it's not going to be elevated, you have to check: is the climate over there very, very good for it? And also the pH of the soil, you have to check. And the soil, you should consider having a coffee farm in a virgin land.
Okay.
Virgin land are still much more fertile because they require very fertile soil.
Okay.
So that now the land preparation. When preparing land, there are some fertilizers that has to be incorporated into the soil before you start planting. Months, like 8 months before. Yeah.
So you
just
apply fertilizer like 8 months
you have phosphorus, lime. You have to spread it on the hectares of land.
That's on that virgin land.
On that virgin land. So you plow about like, let's say 3 to 5 times. Then you harrow just to make the soil fine.
Okay.
Yeah. After that, you apply, what's it called? You can apply the fertilizers. I said you incorporate at that moment when plowing and harrowing. So after like 8 months, then you start. So we have 2 ways of propagating coffee. Is either you propagate, that means how to plant. Is either by seed propagation, or you plant by cuttings, and it's vegetative parts. You cut some parts, just like our flower. Sometimes you just cut a part of the flower from your friend's compound. You go to your compound, plant it, just water, give it the required nutrients it needs, it will germinate.
Wow.
So that's coffee. So that's a part of the cultivation. Now, how to get coffee seeds and coffee cuttings that are certified. I said earlier that when getting seeds, you have to look for certified suppliers. I mentioned Crane is one, and there are some other. We have Premier company in Nigeria. They also have a very good seed. Well, we know they might be in conjunction, but Crane, I will recommend Crane because they are working on even giving best varieties that will be suitable for our soil here in Nigeria. Yeah. And they have been producing. They have like 64 new varieties.
I think I visited it one time, and I saw the products of Crane. Wow, they have the wine, bread, a lot of things. So I understand what you're talking about.
So the seeds, you have to consider looking for a very certified suppliers, so as you won't get the bad seeds. Because start from there, from the seeds. Apart from even if your soil is very fertile and you put in all recommendation, everything in part, if your seed is not okay, if it's not viable, if they are not a very good variety that will be suitable for your soil, those are the things you have to consider. You have to know the kind of variety that will be suitable for the soil you want to plant. So when you get that, then the cotton, when you also plant that one. So
those for farmers that have to take note.
Yeah, when talking of coffee Arabica, when planting in between east west, that should be 2 meter. On a row, it should be on a row. So from A to A, it should be 2 meter to 3 meter for Arabica. For Arabica. If it is Robusta, it should be 3 meter by 3 meter.
Okay.
And in between them, you should have about like for the next row, you should have about like 20 to 25 centimeter apart. Why? Just because they are kind of like short trees. Yeah, not like tall. And when planting them, you have to consider getting shade. So it's either you plant in between some trees, kind of like plants that will serve as trees that will serve as shade for them, because they do not like too much sun. It will affect them. It will affect the growth. It will affect the germination. A lot of things. So those shades will serve as covering the sun. So that's the part. I'm talking of fertilizer. After planting, that is the spacing. Yeah, you've gotten them. Fertilizer. We have different fertilizers you can use. We have organic fertilizers you can use. The coffee pulp, it can be used as organic fertilizer, and then
the coffee pulp
itself. After the processing, you remove the so the wet ones you can keep them. Then you pour it at the side of the of the plants.
Seedling.
Yeah, you can put them. You serve as
Manure.
fertilizer to them. And also, we have recommended fertilizers. We have nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen, we have nitrogen 20, phosphorus 10, then potassium 10. Or you can use N17, P17, K17. Those are the two major recommended fertilizers you can apply. And it also has periods when you can apply some fertilizers. You have pre-blossom before you start removing flowers. There are some management, there are some care you have to give them so as to make them get prepared for the next stage after blossom. So after the blossom, there's another amount of fertilizer you have to apply. After that, when they start removing fruits, that is the seed.
Yes.
So there are some fertilizer, NPK, you need to apply at that moment also. So those care have to be in place.
So what is the duration between, the application of fertilizers?
Okay, the duration between application of fertilizer.
Okay, planting.
Okay, let's say we plant in between within from the nursery to we have after a year, coffee starts removing this, giving this
12 months.
After 12 months.
Wow.
12 months, it starts giving this fragrant smell, a very sweet smell, and you start seeing a white flower on it. So
right from the seedling
right,
stage?
it has
grown
from the seedling till it goes a year after, at least as it will get to a certain height.
Okay.
So then after it starts removing the flowers, in the next 3 to 4 years later, you see the fruits coming out.
So how many years does it take?
Coffee has okay, talking of from planting to let's say max of 4 to 5 years.
Well, and that's the improved variety.
Yes. Also part of the improved variety. And the very beautiful part of it again is coffee has a very long lifespan. It can stand 40 to 50 years, 50 to 60 years, depending on the management and care you give to it.
This is to ARCN television. The discussion is quite interesting, and we're being told the beautiful stages at which coffee can grow up to the harvest period. I want you to stay right back. We'll come back after the short break. When we return, we'll tell you the pests, the types of pests, the control, and then how do we select, harvest coffee, and then the storage for next season. Don't go anywhere. ARCN TV and it's improved seeds. Mr. Bakari here has enlightened us and is really giving us an insight on coffee production. I tell you, he told us the best steps from the seedling, the branches, and the beautiful part of coffee is that it lasts for years, 60 to 40 years, as long as you manage it, and it loves moist weather and soil. It's one of the easiest way of easiest fruit or plant that you can have within you. Just maintain it. All right. So before we continue, you highlighted some pests and diseases. Can you call out some of the pests that farmers can identify when they see it on the plant? They know that okay, the fruit has been affected, and then how do they control it or treat it?
Well, we have different type of pests that
Okay.
affect different crops
Okay.
and also affect the yields.
Okay.
So, for an example, we have the leaf stem borers.
Okay.
Those farmers will easily get. There are some insects that affect the plants,
Okay.
which makes the fruit not to produce, not to germinate at the required time,
Okay.
or seeing your seeds not being big enough, seeing your the leaves of the plant being twisted.
Yes.
Those are kind of like insects.
Yes.
Those are kind of like pests.
Okay.
Yeah, certain. So I said there are lots of pests that affect, and there are some a lot of physical appearance. You see, oh, this thing is being affected. Yeah. So and how to control them? Yeah. First, let me go in here. Sometimes it's not just. Sometimes it might be the problem might be right from you,
The farmer.
the farmer.
Okay.
The reason, because you are not giving the plants the proper care and management you need to.
Indeed.
There are some certain times when there's droughts, you need to introduce irrigation.
Okay.
Yeah, we have different types of irrigation. Sprinkler, if you have the money. We have the drip irrigation. That is the best if you have the money. So when there is drip irrigation, I see no problem, except you are not giving it the required fertilizer.
And then when you use improved variety, I think a lot of issues of pest are
Yes, exactly.
out.
There are a lot. Yeah. There are new varieties, improved varieties. They are pest resistant, disease resistant. You have very limited and few pests that will be to affect you.
And now in Nigeria now, where what states now do you think is best for farmers to go into cultivation of coffee?
Of coffee, yeah. Yeah, now in Nigeria.
I know Plateau State does that because
Yeah.
of its weather.
Southwest region is very okay. Talking of the weather there in Southwest, here in North, it will require a lot of labor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why labor?
Why? Because we don't have here in North. We have the rain air is kind of abnormal.
Okay.
So and also we have some certain variety of coffee. I told you, Robusta still like abnormal weather.
So it can also grow.
It can also go with it. So there in Southwest, they plant much more of Arabica. Much more of Arabica. They plant much more because Arabica needs a lot of water. Because and down there are a lot of rainfall, so you don't need to spend much. So here in Nigeria, as you said, now I think here in Nigeria we have both in Jos and Taraba. I think they are the most producing coffee states in Nigeria presently.
Wow.
So there are some other states, Ogun State, Oyo State, some other states. So I will suggest and advise there's nowhere in Nigeria you can plant.
As long as
you have enough supply, you can supply you can give your plants the required care, the required water, fertilizer, everything. You can even have it at the backyard of your house, in the garden. You give it the required care, nutrients, management, everything. That's all for coffee. Coffee is less. It's not a plant you have to like corn. You have to it's within for the process. It's within, let's say, 6 months, 7 months. You harvest. But there, just have it in your garden. Just give it every morning in a week time. Leave it within a year, 2 years. All right.
Coffee is a flowering plant which is being cultivated for its grain or seeds called coffee beans. Many coffee products, include beverages, are made from these freshly grown coffee beans. When it comes to planting size, these trees are small. Of course, coffee plants are native to tropical areas, and of course in Nigeria, you can either go to because of the different types, the southern part and of course part of the northern part can grow. There are many species of coffee. There are many species of coffee cultivated across the globe. However, coffee is good and can be planted anytime as long as you give it the required management it needs. Thank you so much, Mr. Abiodun.
Thank you,
It's
Mrs. Ella.
beautifully hearing this from you and a
Yeah.
young farmer like you.
Yes.
I urge other farmers, of course, to key into this.
All right.
This is how we wrap it up on the program April 6th. I urge you to watch more of our programs. The only and first agricultural television where it gives you an insight on improved varieties of agri products. Keep updated with us next time for another episode of the program. Thank you so much for being part of the program.
Thank you.
I am Hilda Homsen Phantom saying take good care of yourself and let's put our heads on deck to see that we add to food security. Bye from everybody here and thank you for watching.